and hear the giant wild aurochs scraping its hoofs and furiously bellowing. An amphitheatre battle bull, weighing 1,500 pounds, is terrifying. He was famous. His name was Buculus. He would not stand dribbling in a stall while people fed him grass. He preferred to trash the stall. We already knew this poor woman had been deliberately lured there by someone who intended her to suffer. She had not come teetering into the auditorium, dreaming of some acting role she coveted, then wandered on stage where she had a cruel face-to-face encounter with a primeval bull. It was certainly cruel, but not face-to-face. Nor was it accidental. A highly inventive madman, with at least one accomplice, had prepared the scene we had found at the theatre of Balbus. It was meant to be a truly dreadful punishment. Merely to have the victim trampled or gored to death would have been too easy and not theatrical enough for the Undertaker killer. Chapter 2. Curious? Then hold on, while I begin at the beginning. Phrygia's was the second inexplicable death on the Campus Martius that morning. By the time her ghastly murder was discovered, I was already investigating the previous one, a case I had snitched from my father while he was away. A couple of days entertaining relatives during a festival were enough for my parents. Falco and Helena had rustled up a carriage from someone who had more sense than to go anywhere at the end of December. Then the dizzy pair took my 3 siblings rattling off down the misty Via Ostiensis to their coastal villa. The youngsters were now gathering driftwood on its storm-battered beach to warm up the draughty holiday home, while the parents pretended that seaside life was fun. I had been dragged along before, so I was having none of it. I stayed cosily in Rome with my own family. I was not expecting interesting work for Falco, though we both knew I would steal anything that turned up. He had always been a private informer, and still kept his hand in, except when I managed to poach his clients. Dearest father, I hope you and mother enjoy a relaxing break. Have checked at the office. All extremely quiet. No need to rush home. My family owned an auction house. Whenever my eccentric parents swanned off somewhere else, the staff were in charge, with me nominally supervising them. I was the eldest daughter and fully trusted. An aunt did creative work on the accounts, but bills and receipts were taken to her at home. Maya could never be bothered to traipse all the way down from the Aventine and out to the Sciopta Julia on the Field of Mars. It was my job to trundle across the city, banter with the porters, and sweet-talk any customers. The Sciopta Julia was a huge 2-storied gallery used by sellers of precious wares, or in our case mixed goods, some desirable, some less so. We had no control over what people chose to sell, though we cheerily auctioned anything. There were no sales during the holiday. I knew how to run a sale, and could even wield the gavel, but nothing was booked until well into New Year. I only came for a gossip. I had brought my dog and my husband to give them both a walk. It was understood that barley must not chew furniture, and that Tiberius Manlius was allowed to rootle through caskets of waiting lots, still desperately trying to find a Saturnalia present for me. He had promised a necklace, but then found himself stuck at the goldsmith's behind a long queue of forlorn husbands. Hieronymus would fulfil his orders at a leisurely pace through January. Instead, Tiberius now hoped to find me something antique. I explained what this meant. It will cost you twice as much and the clasp won't work. If you take it to be mended, Hieronymus will put you right back at the end of his queue. But maybe it will be ready for my birthday. My birthday was 4 months away. Tiberius knew, because he first met me in April. He unfolded the X-frame of a battered old Egyptian stool, then dropped cautiously onto its rope seat. Barley the dog sat alongside, happy to have us together in one pack. "I'm hopeless," he conceded, scratching the dog's ears. "Why did you marry me?" "I believed your sales patter. Didn't you promise me a life of luxury?"